Some real estate developers reached out to me after the publishing of my last video and begged me, "We're building a park. We need you to assemble our staff, put the architecture together, and get it in front of the masses." And who am I to deny this opportunity to develop Evergreen Gardens? There are 2 objectives, 2 key performance indicators for this park, and that is to have at least 1,000 guests and a park rating of at least 600 in October year 4. This park is built like a botanical garden, and I could basically hit those goals in my sleep. But don't tell the investors, because I'm gonna try to get them for every penny that they have. I'm very in touch with the kids these days, and they're all about rides and shops. So I'm gonna have my room of 7 unpaid interns put their minds together and dedicate maximum funding to this research. Apparently something called a fidget spinner is really cool as of a month ago. So we bought a giant fidget spinner, and this is going to be the centerpiece of the park until the other rides come in. Ugly Park is shifting paradigms with this concept that instead of the typical engineer or classically trained architect working on these roller coasters, we're tapping into the niche of graphic design enthusiasts who can't really tell the difference between Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign, and putting their ride designs to work. It might take a few iterations, but we will arrive at a roller coaster that no one's ever seen before. It might not function right on the first time, but if you ask any industry disruptor, they'll tell you that you've got to fail forward and you got to fail fast before you get something that works. And it might not even work on the second try. But I technically can't fire any of these graphic design interns, so we're just gonna let them try as many times as they need to, and eventually we'll get a roller coaster that kind of functions enough to open, and then we can just move on to the next thing, because it's all about more and less about quality. The highest reward level for the Ugly Park Kickstarter was that you get to come to the park and you get to immerse yourself as a groundskeeper. So we set one of those guys to work. Moving on to Roller Coaster 2. This one loops through the blue roller coaster. The design team has informed me that it's a take on Van Gogh, and the yellow is supposed to represent the sunflowers while the blues are supposed to represent the blue period. Some real art major stuff. Anyways, the most important thing to me is that it's gonna bring more people to the park. This little social experiment is already going strong with 100 guests. This 3rd ride is gonna absolutely blow our performance numbers. We're going straight to the top, baby. At Ugly Park, we're already getting a lot of questions about how we design the path flow in the park, and I don't want to give anybody the impression that that is something that's designed. We don't want to tell anyone how they should enjoy the park. There's a lot of park to see. There's not a whole lot where there's actually engaging activities happening, but we kind of want to make it a choose your own adventure, but also really confusing and terrifying, and you might get lost for days. But it's your choice. The park's spiritual advisor said that bad vibes were emanating from this blue roller coaster, so we turned it off for a month. It's not because we wanted to reduce the car size and give people time to forget that there used to be more cars. It was because of bad vibes. Apparently, some of our guests didn't get the memo that this is a free-range, choose-your-own-adventure park that has a lot of pathways. So what we're gonna do is put some information kiosks out there in the grand wild of the park so they can give us money to buy maps, guides, to figure out where they are and how the heck they can get back to the main center of excellence. While we're at it, the innovation and design team came up with this great idea that we should build restrooms around the park, but monetize them. So we're also going to put that into action way out here when there's nothing else to do except for go to the bathroom and get a map to figure out how to get out of this giant, incredible maze. There's only one thing to do with a giant lake like this, and that is to build an area for free-range boats to go wild. Every single intern meeting that we have, one of the interns keeps pushing this idea for a pirate ship. We've been saying no, no, no. We finally got until August year 1, and they're still pushing for it, and I just found out that their parent is one of our major investors, so we're gonna have to build this thing, but maybe we could tuck it into part of the park where nobody really cares about. And then we can delay opening it to build some more information kiosks, because when it's raining, we should be showering in money. The path building ethos at Ugly Park is to put the guest in a state of confusion and frustration while they're trying to get to their desired ride. The best situation is that the guest is navigating the park, sees a ride that they want to go on, and then has no idea how to get to that ride, so they'll go the natural direction where they think the ride is, but then find out that they were wrong and end up on a long pathway all the way around the park again until they get back and they have to try a new pathway. What this will do is frustrate and exhaust the guest. By the time they actually get in the line for the ride, they are so happy to be in the line that they don't mind the line being very long. And then when they get on the ride, they're so excited to be on the ride that completely overshadows how boring the ride may be. The marketing interns say that there's a huge YouTube niche for abandoned theme parks or abandoned parts of theme parks, and that in order to tap into this niche, what we should do is completely cut off parts of the park by deleting pathways, but by leaving part of the decorations there. So we're banking on this, and we're gonna remove the pathways and entrances to some of the key decorated parts of the park. We're holding out for Bright Sun Films and their featurette of Ugly Park. It's almost the end of year one here at Ugly Park, and what we've got to do is reinvigorate some life into this park with another roller coaster. We're going to build a corkscrew roller coaster, the first of its type in this park, and this one is inspired by the Rock's performance in the Mummy Scorpion King, in the sense that we're going to try to put a little scorpion tail on this roller coaster. Just like that movie, the design and the execution is a little poorly thought out, so it might take a while to get it right. But that's fine. All good things take a little rejiggering and reworking, and I'm sure that even if it doesn't work on the first try, we could get it right on the second try. Or, you know, maybe this design needs to be scrapped and redone as well. After multiple iterations of the roller coaster design not working when the graphic design interns were trying to put it together, we decided that we might actually be a little bit better off with a random number generator, some dice, and a dungeon master figuring out how we should align this roller coaster. So depending on which side of the die that was facing up, we decided different parameters of building this roller coaster. Eventually, the marketing team caught wind of us doing this, and BuzzFeed wrote a 7 most interesting facts about the world's first random number generated roller coaster. And with great press like that, how could we change our ways? So, without further ado, I would like to introduce the world's very first random number generated roller coaster. A little bit of irony in the shape of a fun fact: if the Mummy Scorpion King would have used a random number generator to generate their CGI for The Rock when he is the Scorpion King, it would have looked at least 200% better than it does now, looking back over history and looking at that atrocious Uncanny Valley CGI. In the world of amusement parks, the period of time between October and March doesn't happen. You kind of just phased right on through to the next year, which is what happened here at Ugly Park. Thank you everyone for watching and being part of our board of directors. We're excited to continue on this journey to build some more roller coasters with cutting edge technology and design. We're excited to build some more pathways, confusing and alienating our guests. And we're all about dropping those references to movies that you wish that you could forget about. Stay tuned next time where we dive into year 2 and some more beautiful roller coasters. Thanks for watching. Bye!